Did Dr. Gray really cause that accident by drugging your sister with sleeping pills? Like, he was totally out to get my sister. He totally did that to, like, pay my sister back. I wonder. This does give me a good reason to want to murder Dr. Gray. It seems simple, doesn't it? What do you mean? But it would be very hard to catch me, actually. I'd say impossible. What? I think you get the picture. I'm going to serve you a slice of humble pie. I hope you enjoy it. Present you this badge. Will you take a look at this? Hey, it's like one of those little badges people in Congress all wear. No, I'm a lawyer. L-A-W-Y-E-R. Lawyer. Like, so is that what you are? I need to find someone else. Anything in here? Can I look behind here yet? No. There's gotta be a secret way we can go. Let's go outside. Looks like something's up. Stop, leave my mother alone. Ow, hey, hold on, pal. Okay, I'm not gonna hurt you. Pearl, dear, it is perfectly alright. I'll be on for a short while this young man... Mother, please, let me go too. No, you must stay here and protect the manor. But... Oh, don't make that face. Hey, I'll tell you what. I'll show you something cool. Here, look. It's a real pistol. Detective, do not upset me further. Okay, I'm sorry. Poor Gumshoe. Being dragged off by the ear like that by Morgan. Ow. Mother. Hey, little Pearl. Mother, this has never happened before. Pearls? Mr. Nick. I have a really bad feeling that I can't shake. I think something real bad is going to happen. I'm scared. I'm really scared, Mr. Nick. Say something, alright? Anything. I'm terrible at this. Mr. Nick, what about Mystic Maya? She'll be alright. I think I've gathered enough evidence. Mystic Maya, she must feel all alone. Please, Mr. Nick, go visit her. Yeah, but I can't just leave you here all alone either. I'll be fine. Please, Mystic Maya needs you by her side. Her stare's really piercing. Okay, well, okay. I guess I'm going to go visit her. I'm gonna go to the clinic first, see if anyone else is there. Nope, no one else is there. Right, law offices, nothing new. And now, detention center. Just making sure. Need to make sure I got everything. 6:38 p.m. You kept me waiting, Phoenix. Mia. So how are the preparations? I think I have enough evidence and information now. I think. Everything will be on your shoulders tomorrow. Whether Maya is found guilty or innocent. It's a heavy weight to bear. If memory serves, Mia had a few psych locks of her own. Mia, I'm gonna get the last piece of information I need. Sure, I welcome you to try. Stop it. Mia. Yes. Mia, you know something, don't you? About the real murder, I mean. Fuck. Why? Do you think so? It's really trying at times to be able to see other people's secrets. It looks like it's time for you to explain your reasoning. Yeah, a battle of wits against Mia. Ugh. Yeah, I'll get to that tomorrow. There's still a whole slew of questions for you to answer before the trial tomorrow. You mean, like, how did the real murderer get into the room and kill Dr. Gray? Yes. Also, when did the murderer enter the channeling chamber? You guys were all standing around in the front of the room after the channeling started. Which means that the murderer must have gone into that room before the channeling. That's what I think, in any case. But Maya's already said there wasn't anyone else in there. That's true. But if we can't figure out the murderer's motives, we're stuck in a beach whale. Stuck with a beach whale. I thought I'd never see the day. Are you actually asking me about spirit channeling? This case is all about spirit channeling, and I feel like I don't understand a thing about it. Well, that's only natural. After all, spirit channeling isn't exactly a everyday thing, is it? Yeah, I guess you're right. The power to change your physical appearance into the person you're calling was something our ancestor, Mystic Amy Faye, acquired. I've heard that name before. The Faye family was originally a family known for its services to the gods. When the Mystic Amy was born, she was given a certain faith through her name. Because, you see, she was named after one of the Buddhas of Buddhism. Amitabha. Yeah, okay. To this day, her soul is still sealed in the sacred Korean sacred urn. It usually sits in the Winding Way and has her name written on it. Yeah. Oh, come on, Phoenix. It's just a fairy tale. Are you saying that me being able to see you is just a fairy tale too? Okay, well, I guess I'm not moving. I'm going to break open her locks.
Take that!
This is gonna be hard as fuck. The murderer. Phoenix, you think I'm hiding information about someone from you, isn't that right? Yes. Alright then, tell me who you think I'm protecting. I think you're protecting this bitch. Because you wouldn't be protecting Pearl, she can't do anything, and there's no one else here that you care about. Or no. Morgan Faye, of course. There's no one else you would protect like this, Mia. Oh, thank God there's one. Well done, but... while the murder was being committed, my aunt was outside with everyone else. Which means she already has an alibi. That's true. Show me some evidence that would cast suspicion on my aunt. This key?
Take that!
Cloth scrap? The proof is this piece of cloth. I found it in the incinerator near the Winding Way. It's the same material as Maya's costume, except for the splotch of blood. You mean it's from Maya's costume that she was wearing at the time of the murder? Yes. But when Maya was arrested, she was wearing her costume. That just means someone changed her clothes. Changed her clothes? But why? I don't know why, but there is only one person who could have done that. The one person who was taking care of Maya, my aunt. What's that look mean? Your argument is too flimsy. You have no proof that this piece of cloth is actually from Maya's costume. But this blood. And do you know whose blood that is at this point in time? You don't, do you? Do you have any proof that the piece of cloth is from Maya's costume? Let's fucking kill that. I think this is the proof you're looking for. Maybe? I don't know. I'm just guessing things. Don't yell at me. The key to the channeling chamber, huh? At the beginning of the channeling, Maya had possession of the key. And yet somehow it magically ended up in an incinerator in the center garden. You're right. And this is what Maya told me. While I was channeling, the key was sitting inside my sleeve. And both this key and the piece of cloth were found inside the incinerator. Which means that this piece of cloth was a part of Maya's costume. It would certainly seem that way. Someone changed into her different set of clothes, and then burned the costume she was wearing in the incinerator. There's only one person who could have done that. And one person who was taking care of Maya, my aunt. Exactly. You did very well, Phoenix. Thank you. As long as you have those two pieces of evidence, you can cast suspicion on my aunt. Suspicion. However, like I said in the beginning, my aunt has an alibi. Yeah, she was with us the whole time. Here's my final question. You don't have to present solid proof of this one for me. But I want to know, if my aunt is the culprit, then how did she commit the murder? How she did it, huh? I want to hear your thoughts. In order for my aunt to murder Dr. Gray, who or what did she need? Oh, fuck, no! No, fuck. Oops. Okay, go back. She needs an accomplice. It would be her. Eeny Meeny. She's the answer to the final question. Which means that my aunt and Eeny Meeny, we're in cahoots. Give me my health back. I am going to throw her under the bus and in jail. Something's been bothering me all this time. This crime is something no normal person could carry out. The person who would have to know a lot about the Fey Manor and the village itself to do this. But Morgan already has an alibi. Which is why I can't figure out how it was done. We can assume that Eeny Meeny is involved somehow. But we have one big problem on our hands. A problem? What's that? We don't have a motive. Why would Morgan want to kill Dr. Gray? Why would she have to? Also, we don't really know for sure that she was cooperating with Eeny. Mia doesn't have a clue either, huh? I have my ideas. Then there's only one possibility. Think about it, Phoenix. Why would my aunt do something like this? And why would she do it in such an underhanded fashion? Because... Mother. She's the one who holds the key to this. Mother. Whose? Mine? Don't be silly. Mine, of course. Misty Fey. Mia and Maya's mother. Why would she bring her up now? Now then. Looks like we've gathered everything we could. All we have to do is win tomorrow. Everything will become apparent then. Right, Chief. We won't lose. Oh my god. I'm dying. So much guessing. So much pain. So many reloads. There's Vennett Lobby number 3. I'm Nick. Yeah. Did you know that Von Karma's daughter is only 18? Just like me? Fucking course she's 18. Yeah, why? I was just thinking about how strong she is. I mean, she's been in Germany all this time all by herself, and she's so grown up. Yeah, and I'm sure she felt a lot of pressure from her father's reputation. And then you look at me, well, I'm the daughter of the master, but I'm just a little girl. On top of that, I'm the suspect in a murder trial. But I think you're really strong too, Maya, for all you've gone through. Good morning. The two of you look like you're doing well today. I'm happy for you. Hey, morning, Pearly. You'll be safe today, Mystic Maya. What do you mean? My mother's coming today to show her support. Yeah, that's right, Pearly. She's going to throw you right under that bus. Hey, Pearls. Yes, Mr. Nick? Do you think you could do me a big favor? Could you channel Mia today, too? Huh? I was sort of hoping to sit in the audience today and watch. Please, it's very important to me. I don't feel confident enough without her help. Mr. Nick, that's enough. You can't show weakness in front of the person you love. Pearly, not this again. Please, can you do this for us, Pearls? Alright, I'll do it. I'll do it for Mystic Maya's sake. See you later, then. I'll leave you two alone for your alone time. Phew, thank goodness. Nick? This way, Pearls won't be able to see today's trial. What do you mean? What's going on? Her mother's about to be arrested. Court is now in session for the trial of Maya Fey. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Let's start already. Mr. Phoenix Wright, I look forward to tonight's news with great joy. The image of your defeated face will be transmitted all over the world. All over the world, huh? Sounds like you've made quite a name for yourself, Phoenix. Don't be foolish, you fool wearing the foolishly foolish clothes. The famous one is me. I'm the prodigy who has never lost a case since becoming a prosecutor 5 years ago. Naturally, the world's eyes are on me as I conduct my first trial in this country. Uh-huh. That's nice, Miss Von Karma. Glad to see you're in such good spirits today, Miss Fey. Huh. It's true what they say. Women really are scary when they fight. Now then, a very interesting theory was presented during yesterday's session. That the defendant could have left the channeling chamber, correct? Yes. And this key is proof of that. This key, the only key to the channeling chamber, was not where it should have been. Your Honor, I would like to say one thing before we begin. All right, let's hear it. The prosecution has determined that from the time of the murder to the time of the arrest, the defendant did indeed leave the room at one point. What? But Ms. Von Karma, then how do you explain this picture? Are you saying then that the person in this picture is not the defendant? I never said that wasn't the defendant. And what is the meaning of this? All I'm saying is that Maya Fey, after killing the victim, exited the room. And I believe that is when she dropped this key. Can you substantiate your claim? Isn't that what I'm here for? The prosecution would like to call the defendant's Aunt Morgan Fey to the stand. Just as I suspected Aunt Morgan. Poor Mia. She seemed really torn by this. Witness, name and occupation. My name is Morgan Fey, and I am a spirit medium, in a manner of speaking. I'm sorry, but what do you mean in a manner of speaking? No, I don't think anyone really cares. Now then, after the murder took place, you kept watch of the defendant, correct? Yes, that is correct. I performed the spirit severing technique on Mystic Maya then. Spirit severing technique? A technique to remove a spirit from a body and send it back to the other world, that is. That is... You be quiet. Now, witness. Something happened while you were performing this technique, correct? Yes, that is correct. What in the world could have... Mystic Maya, she escaped from the room. This is so fucking fake. What? And here we come to the heart of the matter. Maya Fey, while in a possessed state, managed to escape from the channeling chamber. Order, order. Miss Fey, please testify to this court what happened during that time. Your Honor, I will try my best. I think someone just upped the ante on this trial. After we heard the gunshots, those two broke the door open and entered the chamber. I requested that Mr. Wright and the other lady please contact the police. A pistol was hanging from Mystic Maya's hands and she was in a daze. Then quite suddenly, she thrusted me away from herself and escaped from the room. With great strength, she hit the base of my neck, and I fainted for a short while. I'm afraid I have no knowledge of where she went after that. Why have you hidden this until now? I did not wish to cause more trouble for Mystic Maya. However, I must correct falsities when they arise. That's right, she is simply correcting a falsity, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Why is she making a point to take a stab at me? Never mind. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. My aunt is a very smart and sly person. It's going to be hard for us to find a crack in her testimony. I'll break her. I always break them. Just now, you said those two. Who were the two people you were referring to? I was referring to that foreign lady and yourself, good sir. Lotta is not a foreigner, despite how she talks. Oh, is that so? I'm sorry. I simply could not understand her atrocious English, not to mention she looked awful. You can already see people in the Heartland gearing up for a riot. In any case, I've already sent the repair bill to your office, Mr. Wright. Oh, thanks. What did you do after that, Miss Fey? Was it really necessary to have two people do this, so simple as call the police? If there was a possibility of escape, then one of us should have stayed behind. Yes, that is a very good point. At that point, I myself was a little confused. On top of which, there was another. Another what, madam? Oh, it's nothing. No need to concern yourself. I don't hear the end of that sentence. There's another reason you wanted both of us out of the room, wasn't there? You must testify. Why did you chase us out of the room? I simply did not wish for there to be more victims. The lives of both the good sir and that camera woman may be in danger, is what I thought to myself. Well, that was a very noble thing of you, Miss Faye. This is bad. Now people have a good impression of her and a bad one of us. It looks like she caught us napping. That's my own for you. Are you satisfied now, Mr. Wright? And Miss Faye, please continue. The pistol was hanging from Mystic Maya's hand and she was in a daze. During our investigation, you stated that you struck the defendant on the head. And this strike caused Maya to lose consciousness. Do you stand by this statement? I'm afraid I don't. The statement I gave you was a lie. If you're lying back then, why should I believe you now? But why would you lie about something like that? It's very painful for me to say this, however.
Objection!
The witness was lying to cover for the defendant. She was covering for Maya. No. So you were covering for the defendant? Well, yes, it was only later that I was informed of what had occurred. That the renegade Mystic Maya had done something very unexpected. Something unexpected? What? Pray tell, did she... Oh. This witness didn't and couldn't have seen what happened. If you want to know what this unexpected thing was, there is always later. Hey, yes, very well. Why does it suddenly feel like there's a rock in the pit of my stomach? Now, witness, continue with what happened. And quite suddenly, she thrusted me away from herself and escaped the room. Was it really that easy for her to escape from you? I'm ashamed to admit it, such a thing, however, yes. But you are physically larger and stronger than the defendant. There's no way she could have escaped from you so easily.
Objection!
Have you forgotten already, Mr. Phoenix Wright? What about this picture? Remember when at the time the defendant was not physically Maya Fey. Growing old is such a mysterious thing, trust me, I know firsthand. Basically, Mystic Maya's body was still that of the nurse she had called. But if she had run away, wouldn't you have given chase right away? Well, yes, I would have, however... With great strength, she hit the base of my neck, and I fainted for a short while. You fainted? I became dizzy and then collapsed onto the floor. How long were you unconscious? I'm not sure. About 10 minutes, perhaps? And the defendant almost certainly went somewhere in that time. Happy witness, elaborate on that point for us.
Hold it!
Is that because you were unconscious? Why, yes. Great. Well, now what? Question more. So while you were unconscious, you have absolutely no idea where the defendant went. I would think that's obvious, good sir. If that's true, then how can you know for sure that the defendant left the channeling chamber at all? Now that you mention it, I have to wonder myself. It's true that this witness is not able to confirm this, but the key word here is this witness. What do you mean by that? It means she has another witness up her sleeve. That's what. Looks like Miss Von Karma is ready to move on to her next witness. That's enough. From what I can tell, there is nothing wrong with this statement. Her testimony. And from what she said, we can establish that Maya Fey did leave the chamber. I hope this isn't going to come back and bite us in the butt. Now let's take the next logical step and ask, where did the defendant go after leaving the channeling chamber? Yes. That's exactly what we should be... Be quiet, you. Now then, what the escapee had done was she had gone to speak with a certain person. Bring in, Eni. She went to speak with someone. Who was it? The prosecution calls Miss Eni Meany, who was sleeping in the side room at the time. Eni? I think you can see where this is headed. She'll be easy to break. Witness name and occupation. Okay, so my name is like Eeny Meeny. I'm like researching like parapsychology stuff at the university. What is this parapsychology? Let's see. It's like, I guess most people call it occult stuff. Even if that's what most people call it, I can't say I understand what that's the name. Then I suggest you go home and research it yourself. Yes, sir. Now then, Miss Meany. After the murder took place, you spoke with the defendant, Maya Fey. Is this correct? Well, like, I guess? If that's the case, then let's hear your testimony. That is all right, isn't it, Your Honor? Yes, sir. For the love of all things good, Your Honor, have some spine for my sake. After the murder. Like, when the channeling started, I was like sleeping in the side room. Like, a little later, someone came into the room, like, really suddenly. It was like, oh my god, totally my sister. I like hadn't seen her in like so long. I was so happy in like a sad way. My sister, she like told me something like totally terrible. Now hold your horses, you're young lady. You're saying the person that entered was your sister? Don't you mean the defendant, Maya Fey? No, Your Honor. Maya Fey was still in the middle of channeling at that time. Are you saying that the spirit of the spirit was the spirit of the witness's sister? Yes, Minnie. She was the nurse at Dr. Gray's clinic. Oh, wow, this is. Witness. Like, yeah? In your testimony, you mentioned a terrible thing. Why don't you tell the court what this terrible thing was? I'm sure we'd love to hear about it. Like, do I totally, like, really have to? Of course. Miss Meany, please. My sister, like, this is what she said to me. That was no accident. I was drugged with sleeping pills. I was murdered by that person. That's why I took my revenge. It's only fair, isn't it, Edie? Yeah, you killed Dr. Gray. Morgan set you up for it. She took revenge. Are you sure that's what she said? Yes. Are you satisfied, Your Honor? No, I still can't believe it. I can't believe that a spirit would go so far as to use a medium to get revenge. It's a bit hard to swallow. However, all the evidence and testimonies point to this as the truth. The end. What do you think, Mr. Wright? It certainly seems like all the loose ends are accounted for. This testimony just now, was it all made up? Or was it just one huge lie? Of course it was, Phoenix. Mia, what do you mean? It's well constructed, but that's all it is. But even the most well-spun lies can be undone. We can do it, Phoenix. Let's find that one loose thread and unwind this tapestry of lies. Your Honor, there is room for doubt, so the defense will cross-examine this witness. We believe that our cross-examination will reveal the real truth behind the murder. Yet again, the foolish fool spouts out more foolishly foolish drabble. I wonder if you'll make this one more entertaining than the last one. Ugh.